Hi there everybody, it's Rarity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me again today for a card making tutorial. This card I'm making is for the Inspire Create Challenges design team. So this month, or this time around, sorry, it's every couple of weeks, isn't it? So it's not a month. We're casing one of the other design team members, so we have a card from Hannah that we are all working from today. So her card is a lovely floral background with lovely soft purples and pinks in it, and a bit of a splash of green. So you know, when you're casing a card, you can take elements of it. So it could be a direct thing and just do purple flowers all over the card, which is great. But you can use elements of it. Okay, so I've moved away from the flowers and I've brought in some sketched butterflies instead. I've brought in the green through the die cut there. So you know there's ways to spin that inspiration to suit your project. Okay, so there we are. I've brought in Highland Heather as well, and the background is all in Fresh Freesia. So I've coloured all those butterflies in with the Fresh Freesia Stampin' Blends markers, the alcohol markers. This one has been die cut and we've put some Wink of Stella on there. Don't know whether it's glistening for you. Okay, and the sentiments also from that same stamp set. So there you go. That's how I've interpreted or lifted elements from that card to make this project. Okay, so we're going to do something similar but different. Okay, still got to keep within the colour parameters. Usually I'll try and do a different colour, but we're going to sort of stick with it. Well, I say what we're going to do is we're going to stick with the Highland Heather card base, because when I cut my card bases I end up with two, so we'll use the other one. Still going to have like the black and white layer that we're going to add onto the front, okay, and the die cutting, but we're going to use the smaller butterfly. Okay, and actually we're going to use Bubble Bath instead of the Fresh Freesia, just to sort of spin it up just a little tiny bit. So it's all pinks and purples. Okay, so here's Sketch Butterflies, really nice set with some sentiments as well. We've got coordinating dies, don't forget your save with the bundle, and the sentiment is cut with this Everyday Details, I think it's called. Yes, Everyday Details. This is an online exclusive. Okay, actually I'll get those dies out now, because you also get the rectangles in there as well. Okay, similar sort of design, and then these lovely stitched elements as well. So we'll just take out those centered two. I'll just put them on my little magnetic thingy. Okay, shuffle those away. Okay, haven't decided yet whether I'm going to die cut the large or the smaller butterfly. I've got both out on blocks, so we'll have a look when we come to put things together. Okay, so just popping those out there so that I've got them to hand when I need them. They're not going to go walkies on the desk. Okay, so let's pop those away and we'll stamp our background. Okay, so I'm going to need some scrap paper. So for this bit we'll put on, we'll just use something that's a little bit on the bit more well used, shall we say. We'll be using Memento ink because we're going to be colouring with alcohol markers, so you want to use a water-based ink when you're doing that. Okay, so this is Memento. Okay, so we'll just get this inked up and we'll start stamping. So I start from the middle and work my way out. You don't want to sort of paint yourself into a corner, as it were. Oh, that one didn't come out so well. Oh, well, never mind. So just need to make sure I press hard enough on that felt ink pad. So you need to make sure you apply enough pressure to the centres there to make sure you get good coverage. Okay, it happens to the best of us. Okay, And of course every piece of cardstock has two sides, so if you're really not happy with it you can turn it over and start again. It's only cardstock. So like I say, I just want to build that up from this angle rather than starting up here. I just don't want to end up with great big gaps anywhere. So twisting and turning to get all these areas covered. I think we'll pop this one here. Okay, and then if you feel like there's little things that need to be popped in anywhere, then you can do so. So I might just put a little, it might only be a little thing here and there, but it's surprising how it can make a difference to how it looks. Okay, alright, so I think that's enough of that, so we can get that. So because there's quite a lot of ink on that stamp, I kind of take off the excess ink, which is why that looks so messy, and then that means when you're cleaning that onto like a chamois or your stamping scrub, you're not transferring loads and loads of ink. I'm going to move that really mucky scrap, and then we'll bring in something a little cleaner to do our colouring on. Okay, let's put that where it needs to be. Right, so Stampin' Blends markers, here they are. These are the alcohol markers. It says on the side what colours they are, okay, and they come in a combo pack of a light and a dark shade. There's loads of theories out there as to whether you should start with the light or start with the dark or whatever, so I'm going to say do what's comfortable for you. Have a play with them. I sometimes find that it depends on the colour as to whether I decide to do the light or the dark first, or how much blending I want to do. So, you know, you do you. I'm going to start with the light on this occasion, and I don't always. So what I'm just trying to do is just put down some base colour. I'm not being particularly careful. Okay. The other thing you don't want to do is press too hard on the pens. Now you can probably hear that scratching on the paper, but I'm not pressing on hard, it's just the noise it makes. Okay, and the ink will layer up, so once it dries you can go over it again and it will make it darker, which can be useful with these paler colours. So I don't know how well that's coming up on the screen, but that's a really soft pink. Okay, really soft. What I haven't done as well is I haven't whizzed around the I did take off the stark white of the card, just with a little bit of ink blending around the edge, and it is very subtle. More you can see it more with the Fresh Freesia one that I did at the start there, but when you actually sort of put it against another piece of white cardstock, you'd be surprised at how much of a difference it actually makes if you just go over the edge there. And of course you can build it up as much as you want and go over it a couple of times. Okay, and of course it's totally optional, you don't have to do this at all. The inspiration card was just a plain panel, and either way it looks fab. So, and again, I don't think that's probably that discernible on camera. Okay, I've got a bit. but I don't know whether that comes across that well, but in real life I can definitely see that that isn't now completely white anymore. So that ink will have dried now, which is perfect. The alcohol ink is what I mean, which means I can just go into some of these details on the wings here. And just maybe colour over the bodies, maybe just to pull that out a little bit. Maybe get these little bits on the edge. So it doesn't have to be complicated at all. And as you can see, I'm not being particularly precise. This isn't one of these elaborate blended coloured cards at all. But if that's your jam and that's what you like to do, you can add in more detail as you wish. Okay, don't need to put anything on there. Right, so I think that will do for the purposes of demonstration. Okay, so I've got a totally different look. Okay, totally different, but all the same sort of stuff happening. Okay, just using different colours and different combinations. Okay, so we'll get this secured to this black layer that we've got here. Just in the normal way with my Stampin' Seal, which I absolutely love. And we can get this adhered to our card base. Okay, nothing difficult about that. Just take your time, make sure it's nice and straight, or as straight as you can anyway. Okie dokie. Okay, so that's our card base all done. We can just now focus on creating our sentiment topper. So we need that Memento ink again. We'll bring that black ink through. And we've got this lovely thank you sentiment from the Sketch Butterflies set, which we'll just pop there. Okay, really, really pretty fonts. And that's going to be cut out with this little die from Everyday Details. And while we're at it, we will cut some Granny Apple Green with this one as well. So just going to secure that in so we can get those done both at the same time, which is going to create our little sentiment feature and bring in that green that's in the inspiration card. So we'll just bring that through here. So there's our sentiment, which we can, and then that scrap we can probably do something with. And here's our little circle, and all the dots have caught into our die or onto the cutting plate. So we'll put the die to one side and clean that out before we use it again. And then all these little specks on here, these will just come off, and you can discard those. You don't want them to be left on your plate for next time, otherwise you'll find them sort of embossed into your next project. There we go. So just using some Stampin' Seal to pop that on there. and then we'll use dimensionals. So when I've got a circle, I find a nice little trio of those is really nice. Okay, so we'll pop that on. And this is always the kind of dilemma in that you end up covering some of your design. But, you know, it is what it is. So just to change it up again just a little bit, we'll pop this one maybe a bit lower down and on the other side, which will help me disguise this little boo-boo with the stamping. But nobody needs to know about that. So that looks about straight, I think. Okay. And now we just need to decide whether we want a teeny butterfly or whether we're going to use one of the larger accent butterflies. And I'm thinking a larger one might be nice in that it will help me disguise this one. Okay, and it will be a bit of a contrast. So let's go with it. Let's just see what happens. So we'll bring back our memento. Okay, yep. Just want to make sure it was all nice and well inked. Okay. So the memento pad is a felt pad. It's not the same as the classic pads. Ooh, and now I've got ink on my desk. Let's just before that transfers onto anything. So we'll just bring back the markers just quickly. And colour that in the same way. Could bring in the fresh freesia actually. That would be good. Let's just grab those. Be a bit of a contrast, but so we're using a slightly different image. Cool. Okay. And then we'll use the dark one just to pick out some details along the body there. And if you want to intensify it, don't forget that you can go over it a couple of times. Just around the edge a little bit there. And we can die cut that out. Well, add the wing of Stella afterwards. Where did that die? There it is, on my lovely little magnetic thingy. That's exactly where I left it. Okay, so let's line that up. That looks good. Tape it into place and we'll just roll that through quickly. Okay. These would fit through the mini cut and emboss as well, so if you're only able to your space or your budget is limiting you to the mini, then those would all fit through, no problem. I like to give the butterflies a little bit of shape, so I do that. You can use a foam mat or a your bone folder or anything like that, which gives you a little bit of shape to the butterfly. Gives it a bit of lift and a bit of life. Okay, and we can have it overhanging the sentiment a little bit there. So you can secure some dimensionals behind the wings. Now, because of the way it's going to sit, I'm going to put the dimensionals under the lower wing there. And you could put some glue along the body as well, if you wanted to help maintain that that shape. So we'll just put just a little bit on there. So there's that connection between the card and the sentiment because it's overlapping. The dimensionals are going to keep it popped up, and then we can just make sure that that's pressed down in the middle there. So it's still going to, even when it goes through the post, we're still going to end up with a little bit of the lift from that. Okay, so that's cute. Okay, and so you could have used the same butterfly in the same colours or whatever. So, you know, the world's your lobster when it comes to this kind of thing. And the embellies are just these iridescent pearls, which do have this lovely sort of purpley blue shimmer to them. I don't know whether that comes across very well, but in real life they definitely have a that pearlescent finish to them, and this just helps frame everything up, okay, and just ties everything together. Okay, that's a little sort of sprinkling of little pearls across there. Okay, so that is it, my friend. Oh, forgot the Winker Scadella. Okay, just a little bit of this over the top. Just to add a little bit of shine. Very subtle, but it's beautiful when it catches the light. Okay, so there we go. This is the second one of those samples. This is the original one that I showed you. Okay, so both using the same idea, stemming from Hannah's card. Okay, and pinks and purples, an all over background, bringing in a pop of green. Okay, but it's the same stamp set used in slightly different ways with slightly different colours to make those. Okay, and we've got the different layout with the sentiments being put in different places. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. Okay, do pop along to the link in the description. Well, there's two links. There's one straight to the blog post where this challenge is laid out. You'll see pictures of everybody else's design team projects, and those will link to their blogs as well. Equally, you can go to my blog and then click into the challenge from there as well. So they both work. So whichever you fancy, you can do that. The products are all listed as well. So if you want to look at anything in more detail in the online store, you can do so using those links. So thank you very much for joining me again today. Hope you found that helpful. Please do give me some thumbs up, some comments, likes, subscribes, all that kind of stuff, to help YouTube know that you're enjoying this content. Hope you're staying safe, take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.